Hi, my name is Jeremy Polito, and I'm going to be doing this project on adultism. What is adultism? Adultism is the behaviors and attitudes based on assumptions that adults are better than younger people and entitled to act upon young people without their permission. This treatment to the young generation is reinforced by social institutions, laws, customs, and attitudes. Where and why adultism takes place. The where is a major factor in how society is basically organized. By the assumption, children and youth do not have anything of substance or value to add to the majority of social activities, the adults keep their power intact. Adultism exists in government, education, social services, religious communities, and within families as well. It is also amongst our laws, legal practices, economic activities, and in ways cultures are shared. The why are basically done by adults who believe that there is the value toward it. The adults believe that the adults are more responsible and capable than the youth. However, the adults never give the youth a chance and basically think they're never responsible or never capable, which then the adulting becomes a problem. We can scaffold against adultism by it's basically by the youth through adultism is done by deliberation and determination. There are three elements of scaffolding for the youth integration that can support the youth and diminish adultism, which is culture, structure, and the attitude. The culture is today society. They want to support today's youth, but use the adultist language and adultism to be demoralizing. The demoralization will continue to lessen the youth's response to output and commitment to any program they are a part of. It creates an environment of fear for the younger generation that they would have to grow up too fast or that they would never amount to what the adults would think they can be from the high expectations. The structure of the adultism is seen as a form of gerontocracy, which is a state of society of group governed by older people. Structural adultism rages all across the community, including everyday places such as banks, schools, the police, churches, and etc. The control that it has over the youth of age limitations are more than we think, with voting age, curfew laws, age of candidacy, the draft, and other lawful instructions made from gerontocracy. The attitude of adultism consists of all adults believing they are superior to the younger generation and have the right to control and punish them at will. These attitudes are embedded in the institutions, customs, child rearing practices, and relationships between both the youth and the adults. The effects of adultism are very degrading. Depending on the intensity of the degrading happening to the youth from adults, it can emotionally scar them and give them feelings such as anger, powerlessness, insecurity, depression, lack of self-respect, and etc. Once those feelings are felt, they become the person of youth the adults are pretelling them to be. They can begin to rebel, bully, or even abuse the use of alcohol and drugs. Adultism then leads to the other forms of prejudice. Once the mistreatment is conditioned, they can use they could then use that to their power, their quote unquote power, and begin to act out against other less of power, which can also lead to racism or sexism. What can help all that is the child youth serving programs, which is a program which services any youth from the ages of 5 to 25 and invites them to find their voice and take action to their own community and acquire powerful civic and skillful qualities useful for the century's tasks for their communities. It also supports their activation with grants, training, and resources to prepare for the real world ahead to give the adults and youth camaraderie and a stronger connection. For any future help to fix the adultism, I would think that we could expand the youth service programs such as the YCA, allow the younger generations to express their thoughts on political services and job opportunities, but may need some certain requirements of a higher GPA in school or even any work experience from before, and even allow themselves to get experience from any older adults that are willing to take them under the wing, and have the adults be open-minded, such as parents and any civilians of the community, as in neighbors or anyone who has a voice in the adult community. Hear out their children, see what they have to say, and maybe they'll learn a thing or two while doing it. And this is a TED Talk about a teenager named Ben Towers. He explains how he was a victim of adultism. While he was 11 years old, he began to his entrepreneurship and opened up a website, and it began to expand, and it was taken over by someone who thought it was not right that an 11-year-old was making such a big step. And ever since then, he's been going around talking about what has happened to him, and now he is a pretty uh, successful entrepreneur who now goes around doing TED Talks and giving his word out to the world that just because age, a number is just an age, it doesn't mean that you're not no more mature and or smarter than anybody else trying to do it. And these are my references. Thank you for listening.